telling you last night, Jim, about the story with Suriyaban Deotkar in Maliwata. And
he is.
He's dead now. He was one of the village leaders in the first village project that we undertook in India. And he was one of the key leaders who caught on really quickly as to what was really possible for their village. And he was part of what was known as the Ambassadors Guild, which meant that he would go and visit government officials and other people who could have an influence on the future of the village and try to persuade them to do this or that for the village, electricity or a health clinic or whatever. And Suriyaban, one night, we were traveling, I don't know what time it was, it must have been 10:30 or 11 at night, and Vinod Parak and Suriyaban and I were riding in the car. I was in the front seat, Vinod was in the front seat, and Suriyaban was riding in the back seat. And he was leaning over the front seat like this and telling us a story about a Hindu saint. And he was comparing the activity that we were doing in visiting other villages and trying to excite other villages about their development prospects. He was comparing our activities to the activities of this saint out of Hinduism that was so important to him, and how that guy had also gone village to village and inspired people and brought people, and tears are rolling down my eyes, just listening to this great story. Well, Suriyaban had a stroke, severe stroke, 2 or 3 years ago, and Raymond and I and Taya and Tina were visiting Maliwata sometime soon after, some months after he'd had this stroke. And he was severely paralyzed and couldn't speak anymore and was in rough shape. He could hobble around, but people had to help him wherever he went. Well, we went to Maliwata, and somebody told us that we really should stop by to see Suriyaban. So away we went to see Suriyaban at his house, and his wife tried to drag him out of the house to see us. But he didn't know who was coming to see him. And so he was hanging on to the door. As we got there, he was hanging on to the door and trying to go back to his bed inside. And his wife was trying to yank him out of the house so he'd come and talk to us on the front porch. And so we saw what was going on and decided, okay, let's get our faces, Raymond and I, let's get our faces in front of him so he can see who it is. He was violent. I mean, he was really thrashing.
And shouting.
And it's kind of a scary situation. But we decided, let's get our faces in front of him and see if he recognizes us. Well, we got our faces in front of him, and he absolutely just froze, just like this, and looked at us, stared with great big sort of crazy eyes, looking out of these crazy eyes at us, and then all of a sudden, he just relaxed and was just as quiet and gentle and friendly, and he tried to speak, we couldn't understand it. Giant grin, no teeth, giant grin on his face, and just immediate recognition out of this really deranged being, with all this pain that he was going through. And we sat there with him for about a half an hour or something, and mainly just jostling back and forth and remembering. We told him a few stories of things we remembered, and what a great thing, what a great moment to be able to occasion that kind of moment for him just with our presence.